Hey guys, I'm Ronin. This guide will cover the second part of the warrior skills, and I will cover the cooldowns and cross-class skills for the warrior class. Defiance is your main tanking ability. It will increase your max HP by 20%, all magical healing received by 20%, increase hate generated, but will lower your damage output by 25%. While in Defiance, you will also build Wrath stacks that will increase your crit chance by 2% per stack for up to 5 stacks. As previously mentioned, with 5 stacks you will be able to use Steel Cyclone, Inner Beast, or Unchained. Unchained becomes available with 5 stacks of Wrath. Unchained will remove the damage penalty of Defiance while remaining in Defiance for 20 seconds. This is great for pulling as a main tank during tank swaps, or simply to boost your DPS while tanking. Your Wrath stacks should be used whenever available, unless you know that there is going to be a tank buster ability coming up, and that you will need Inner Beast, or that a group of ads will spawn shortly, and that you could use Steel Cyclone to gather them all up rather quickly. Stacks are obtained by using Skull Sunder, Butchered Block, Maim, Storm's Eye, Storm's Path. Berserk Vengeance will also give you 1 Wrath stack, and Infuriate will give you 5 stacks. Infuriate is usable once per minute and will give you 5 stacks instantly. This is best used when you have 0 stats, or you need to use your Inner Beast now since you failed at gathering 5 stacks before this skill was needed. Infuriate is commonly used when pulling so that you can maximize your threat by starting with Unchained. Vengeance is your strongest cooldown damage mitigation. It is castable every 2 minutes, lasts for 15 seconds, and provides 30% damage reduction. While Vengeance is up, you will counter every physical attack dealt to you with a 50 potency attack. Vengeance generates 1 Wrath stack. Berserk is often overlooked because players don't like the pacification at the end for 5 seconds, which really isn't that bad. Berserk increases your damage dealt by 50% for 20 seconds. This is a beast. When you are berserked, make sure to use Fracture to maximize its effectiveness. Unchained would also pair very well with this, and in 20 seconds you should have enough time to use an Inner Beast. Also, Berserk will also make your potent poison pots stronger. Using a X potion of strength will also make Berserk more effective. Berserk builds 1 Wrath stack. While pacification can prove to be annoying, a lot of good healers are actually really good about removing it early. If you find that you poorly timed your Berserk and that you need the pacification removed to pick up an ad or to use Inner Beast, communicate with your healer. Certain skills still work while pacified. Brutal Swing, Mercy Stroke, Provoke, and I believe Flash also works through pacification. Bloodbath. Bloodbath gives you so much self-healing, especially when berserked. Both skills share the same cooldown, and I usually use them at the same time almost every time. Bloodbath converts 25% of the damage dealt into HP for 30 seconds. So the more damage you deal, the more you get healed. Storm's Path will heal you for 75% of the damage dealt, and Inner Beast will actually heal you for 125% while under the effect of Bloodbath. Vengeance counterattacks will also heal you for about 12 potency per attack. During speedruns, Steel Cyclone and Overpower combined with Bloodbath and Berserk will greatly heal you and may even remove the need for your healer to heal you during a pull, especially if you're playing with a white mage that likes to holy. Thrill of Battle. Thrill of Battle increases your max HP by 20% and heals you for that amount. This skill is great when you know a big hit is coming and you want to keep some of your bigger cooldowns for later. Another use I have for this skill is to heal myself when I know that nothing can hit me for more HP than I currently have. That is useful in speedruns also, so that the healer doesn't have to heal me during the pull. Home Gang, the poor man's hallowed ground. This skill will not always save you, but with some creativity, it may save others. This skill will lock yourself and your target into place and will not allow you to drop below 1 HP for a duration of 6 seconds. This works on almost any attacks. Certain attacks, which are called true damage, will go through this buff. Even though it's only 6 seconds, this skill has saved our raids quite a few times. This can also be used instead of a cooldown to absorb a massive hit and keep other cooldowns available. One example that I can use is Akmorn. A well-timed home gang can take up to 3 of the Akmorn hits and not have to use any cooldowns during it, as long as your healers are aware of the situation and ready to heal you. Foresight. Foresight is like a baby cooldown. I would not rely on it for any big hits by itself. Adding it to another cooldown works well. It increases your physical defense by 20%. This skill gets better with more gear. The better your gear, the better this skill becomes. I would say the best use for this skill is to use it when you're tanking multiple weaker adds. Most of their damage will most likely be physical based, and their attacks will actually be weaker than a boss. Cross-class skills. I will only cover the ones I believe are viable. Provoke. You cannot be a tank without it. With tank swap mechanics that are implemented in the game, or if your healer lets you die and you need to grab snap aggro as soon as you're back up, or even if an ad pops and your healer just cast Cure 3 or Medica 2, you might require Provoke to be able to catch up on the threat that had already been generated before you hit the target. Provoke works like this. It will match the leading enmity on the ad and add +1 to your bar. This means that if a regen ticks right after your +1, you will still need to hit it, or you will lose hate right away. You will want to use a Butcher's Block rotation generally to secure that hate and ensure that you will not lose enmity on that target. One thing that works well, if an ad does spawn and you're not within reach, you could Provoke, because it's more than likely going to somebody else, and Tomahawk right away. Provoke has a 40-second cooldown. Convalescence is great. It adds a bonus of 20% healing received by magic spells. With your already boosted healing from Defiance, your incoming heals will be amazing. It lasts 20 seconds, 2-minute cooldown. Another use for this is during a speed run, I will go and grab 2-3 pulls, pop Convalescence with Berserk, Vengeance, Bloodbath, and I will definitely overpower spam. And the self-healing will be pretty good, but I will also remove Defiance so that my overpowers are stronger, my self-heal is better, and if the healer tries to heal me, it's almost like I am still in Defiance. Except if it's a scholar and he's trying to lustrate me. Awareness. Awareness, I'll be honest, used to suck big time. It started off with a bug where you would cancel out all crits, including incoming heals. But they fixed that bug, and then they added Shiva EX. And in turn 11, you also need to have awareness if you're tanking the cube ad. And we believe that maybe even in Savage T8, the Dreadnoughts seem to do a lot of crits. This skill becomes a must for those fights. It makes you immune to critical attacks. Now, if you're not doing this content yet, then feel free to remove it for now, but do remember to put it back for Shiva and T11, which is bow, and I believe the cube ad will crit a lot. Featherfoot. I used to use Featherfoot, but since you cannot dodge boss skills or even guarantee a dodge, it makes this skill not reliable. But I am including it since it works well for speedruns and when you're tanking a lot of small ads. A successful dodge will make it as if you never got hit in the first place, so you will take 0 damage for that attack. It lasts for 15 seconds with a 90-second cooldown. Second Wind is an okay skill. I used to not use it because it felt like it was a weak heal. It has proven useful mainly as an off tank or again in speedruns. It provides a 450 potency cure that uses your attack power for its calculation. I use it to recover HP in an oh shit moment, or to heal when I choose to avoid dodging a skill to keep DPS up, and the only time I choose to avoid dodging a mechanic is when I know I can self-heal the damage and that my healer is aware of what I'm doing, so he knows not to worry about it. Or also you can use it on a speedrun, or during any pull where you are positioning adds, so the healer doesn't have to heal you, and you can safely position the adds without losing hate. You can also use Second Wind to build initial hate as you are about to go grab the target that just spawned. Internal Release. Internal Release increases crit rate for 15 seconds every 60 seconds. When combined with Fracture, it will buff Fracture for the entire duration, which will make Fracture crit more often. Mantra gives a 5% healing buff to you and your party members that are in close range. Now, I used to use this skill, and it has its uses. Looking at it for a single target, it's garbage. This skill is best used when the group is gathered together for Cure 3 or Sucker during, let's say, Titan, or any other AoE heals that the group knows is coming. The main reason I stopped using this skill is that simply our monk's mantra is superior, and that 2 other members in our static have this skill on their bar. I felt that a 4th one was just a waste. And now the last one. I know that a lot of you are probably shaking your heads, and that almost every other guide out there mentions Flash. Sure, Flash can be used if pacified. Sure, it's good to save TP. To be honest, do yourself a favor and remove it from your bar. I have been called an idiot for this before, but the truth is I have never had Flash on my bar as a warrior, and I managed just fine. When I mentioned that I do not use Flash, a lot of people assume that I just spam overpower. Having started as a paladin when the game first came out, I am used to using the tab targeting tanking method. I will show you some videos why Flash is actually not good on a warrior. On a paladin, it's actually pretty good because when used with Circle of Scorn, it will actually give you a decent amount of threat generated with the 2 skills combined. I haven't had Flash on my bar since I stopped playing Paladin pre 2.2. I will actually cover more on Flash on a separate video. I will dedicate the entire video to Flash and all the data that I have managed to gather. Again, thank you for watching. Please leave your comments below or even questions on content that you would like to see.